I'm about to show you a new presentation tool made for Python people that is so much better than PowerPoint. So let me take you to the first slide. We zoom in, we see a small chart, but the problem is that chart is too small. Luckily, I can hit C while in preview mode to actually change the code that generates this chart. So in this case, it's a little bit of Altair code. Let me just make the height and width a bit bigger. Let me run that cell. Okay, that looks a lot better. I'll click outside the code cell, hit C again, the code cell goes away. I have a nice big looking chart now. Let me show you the next slide. Under it now appear two sliders. This is for a dice, by the way. The whole point is that you can roll a 6-sided dice or maybe 23-sided dice, and you can take the maximum number of eyes out of 2 rolls, or maybe 3 or 4 or what have you. But the really cool thing here is that I can just mix and match my Python code with widgets inside of a slide deck. And as the next slide will tell you, there are many things that you could do with widgets here. So over here is a data frame widget that pops up. This is some data about Monopoly, all the assets that you could buy. And one thing we can very quickly do is, I don't know, go to this color column over here, maybe sort it. I can also do a little bit of search here if I want to zoom in, right? So if you're dealing with a data set you want to show to your stakeholders, being able to do these things automatically is super nice. And on top of that, I can also again show you the cell that produces this widget. And in this case, it's running a little bit of SQL. The backend here is a Marimo notebook. Marimo notebooks has Python cells, Markdown cells, but it also supports SQL directly. So if you wanted to change the SQL, that's also something you could do in your presentation. Now at this point, you might be wondering how all of this works, and everything just works inside of Marimo going forward. A Marimo notebook is very flexible. You're able to mix and match widgets with Python code cells and Markdown cells, and we've always had the ability to turn a notebook like this into an app. And normally what that would do is it would take all the outputs of your code cells and it would orient that, hiding all the code such that you end up with something that's still fully interactive with all the widgets that I just showed you. The thing that's new, however, is that we've revamped the way that you can share this, because you can now also share these cell outputs as slides. And if you were to do that, you now also get this new interface. Everything that you see here is built on top of Reveal.js, and you can see that we have a little mini map on the side over here. You can also click through manually or actually use the arrows on the side over here. That's also something you can totally do. If you want to, though, you can also hit escape, and that way you see this other mini map. Just like in Reveal.js, by the way, you can go left to right, but you can also drill down if that's something you want to do. If you want to configure things like that, we have the sidebar on the right where you can change slide settings or you can change deck settings. Slide settings are useful for things like, oh, I've got a slide over here that I want to skip. So you can select a slide in particular and you can hit the skip button over here. And this slide will no longer be shown in the presentation itself. Another thing you can do is you can also choose to make a slide a fragment. So I've got a slide over here, and you can see the follow-up slide is denoted as a fragment. That's something you can configure over here. And what that's going to do is it's going to actually make the output of the first cell appear by default, and then it's going to add the second output cell below it. So you can actually build a story this way. There's also an option to make a subslide. This is very much a Reveal.js thing. It's easy to show when I hit escape, so you can zoom out. In some sense, it's mainly a navigational thing, where instead of moving from left to right, you can also drill down and zoom in. So you can see over here, there's an arrow that lets me actually move down. And also if you're actually in the view mode, you can hit down over here. You can see that the directional paths are just a little bit different. Now, personally, I don't use this sub-slide feature a whole lot, but the fragment thing, that's just something I'm totally in love with, because I really like having the ability to hide and show something to make it part of a story. From the side panel over here, there are some extra things that you can also configure. If you want, you can say, well, this slide is special. I want to show the code that belongs to this slide. Note that if you're dealing with a fragment, then we're only going to be showing the most recent code cell for that. There are moments when you want to always show the code, but be aware that if you're doing this live, you can always hit C when doing the presentation to also make the code appear. A final thing that's also good to know on the sidebar here is that you do have deck settings as well. And the main thing that you can configure from here is just the transition between the slides. So one transition you can do is just to have no transition whatsoever. So the moment you click is also the moment you make the change. We have a fade animation. Does what you expect. There's also a slide one. Personally, I'm a big fan of the zoom one just because I think the animation's pretty fancy, but you can explore this and just pick your preference. Also note that if you're in this overview, you can also make the sidebar go away by collapsing it. And finally, in the UI, there's one extra thing worth mentioning. We also added speaker notes at the bottom over here. And those speaker notes can be very useful when you're doing a presentation. And speaking of which, if you want to actually do a presentation, there's a new shortcut you can press from this menu as well. When you press S, you now get your speaker view. The speaker view is going to show you the main slide that is live right now in your presentation. There's also a little button over here that you could click during your presentation to show the code. Again, you can also just hit C. That also works. On the right, you can also see the slide that's about to show up afterwards. You can also see the time taken so far. You can also see the current time right now. There's also a spot here for the speaker notes, but one thing that's just really cool about this is that if I were to move this to, let's say, the next display, then I can go back to this menu, hit full screen over here, and the presentation is now actually being controlled by the display on top over here. So if I were to click the right arrow on this screen, you should see it update down below. And again, I'm actually clicking around on this screen, but you can see everything update. So that's going to be the screen that the audience sees. And at the same time, the speaker deck is the thing that you actually do control. So there you have it. You have an environment that really feels like PowerPoint in the sense that you've got a mini map over here, speaker notes, and all sorts of settings that you could tweak. But under the hood, everything is still just Python with widgets, with connections to databases, and all those things you need to tell a story about a data set. And that's going to be great for a lot of use cases in consulting and industry, which is great. But one of the main reasons why we made this is more for educators. It's just so easy to whip together a slide that just keeps on looping with a matplotlib chart. And you can definitely imagine if you're trying to explain math or science or anything in STEM, that this environment is going to be so much more conducive to keeping students engaged. And with that, I do have one final thing I want to mention, and that is that I do maintain this library on the side called Wiggly Stuff. And the whole point of this library is just to host tons and tons of useful, reusable widgets. So if you feel like telling an elaborate story, but you don't have the visual components at the ready, just check out this library. There's a good chance you'll find the component you need to make a stellar presentation that you can repeat and reuse all over the place.